Thoughts on tonight's game?
All season long, this team competes for 40 minutes. And one of the things when we were down at 15 at half, there didn't seem to be a great deal of panic in the locker room. What we talked about was that we needed to become more aggressive, attack the basket. And once again, we just fell back to win it 5 minutes at a time. If you look up and you see you're down 15 points, that's a pretty big task against a team as talented as New Mexico and as well as they were playing. And we talked about is just going out, let's win the next 5 minutes, then the next 5 minutes. I didn't expect to happen all in the third quarter, but we talked about being more aggressive to the basket. I thought Taylor Rusk played exceptional tonight. She was the player out there that seemed very calm, got things going, and really went to the basket, had a career high in points, but more importantly showed tremendous leadership. And then I thought the seniors took over. For Natalie, Liv, they knew they had to compete. They knew they wanted to continue to play. This is it for them. And this time of year, you do fall upon your seniors. And I thought they played extremely well. And then down the stretch, Natalie made 2 big free throws where we could always keep it at 2 possessions. Then Marta hit 2 big ones, and then Clara finished it off. And we still had to make another play at the end. And we had a hand up, and the ball fell for us. And tremendous effort by this group.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions for the student athletes only, and then we'll dismiss them, and then we'll come back to the coach. Questions for the student athletes?
Robert Gagliardi from the Wyoming Boomerang. For any of the 3, just, Coach said you guys weren't really panicking in the locker room, but still you're down 15, so what was the mood like? And in your guys' mind, what was the biggest difference for you guys to not just rally, but win this game?
Yeah, the locker room at halftime was kind of interesting. We walked in and no one really said much at first, and then it wasn't a lot of game talk. Mostly it was talk about how we need to fix ourselves. It's nothing that we were doing on defense or that we were doing on offense. We just needed to calm down. We needed to have a little bit of fire, and as Taylor said, we needed to have a little bit of edge. We talked amongst each other, the seniors, the juniors, and Taylor joined in, and we just talked about how we want to stay here. We don't want to be on a plane ride home. That sounds terrible right now, and so I think that's what we needed. We didn't need to talk about what we needed to do against number 0, anything like that. And so, and then the same when Coach Joe came in, talked about wanting to stay here and wanting to compete and wanting to be this group here right now. And so I think that meant a lot to us, and it really hit us hard. And so coming out in the second half, I think you could see that talk helped.
Brandon Foster, Casper Sarterbean. Liv, it's been a while since you played in one of these games, and you went out with an ankle injury and hit that and one bucket to go ahead and seemed pretty emotional after that basket. Just what's going through your mind, when you hit that to take the lead there?
Yeah, I just went down with a little ankle sprain, nothing a little Advil and some tape can't fix. And then, as soon as I got the ball, I was like, this is my move. This is what I always do. This is where I'm the best at. And so I just knew I had to go up strong. And yeah, I finished, and it felt good. It felt good going into the third quarter, being ahead after being down by 17. And so at that point, I knew that we had it. We were competing at that point. We were playing defense, getting rebounds. We were doing everything that Wyoming does.
Taylor, the coach said, career high, you're attacking the basket, but he said you weren't doing that as much in the first half. Was it just something that you guys weren't doing? It was New Mexico taking that away? What's the difference? You guys were able to take advantage of that more in the second half than the first half?
Yeah, we're a 3-point shooting team, so I think we're used to that. And when we knew that wasn't going to be there, someone had to step up and start driving in the basket. And I was the first one, but everyone followed after me. And as a team, we all stepped up.
Natalie, I think you're 8 for 8 tonight from the free throws. Just down the stretch when every point counts like that. Just how are you staying calm in this situation?
Yeah, free throws are super important, and we've always been a good free throw shooting team, but when I was at the line, I just knew that it was going to be easier to make these 2 than probably get 2 stops and be down. But so it's focus, and I think being a senior helps with that.
I guess, Taylor, I know the threes weren't there in the first half, but in the second half, you guys did start to, hit more and more down the stretch. What kind of opened up, or was it just, you guys hitting shots?
I mean, once you start attacking, they have to take that away too. So I think it was good to get to the basket in the second half, and then we hit Marta, and once they start collapsing, we can do what we do best and hit some threes.
Taylor, Justin Michael from InsideTheSeams.com. Coming off of such a dramatic victory, is it difficult to maybe stay level-headed going into tomorrow's semifinal?
I don't think so. I mean, we're a very level-headed team. I think if anything, it gives us some fire and some confidence. It's hard to play the first game here. Obviously, it took us a while to get going, and I think we just use this fuel for tomorrow night.
Have you ever been a part of a comeback quite that dramatic in your playing career?
A couple of times this season, we've kept it very interesting, but this is, we had a couple regular conference games that we came back from, but this was by far the most exciting, and this is when it matters, and we pulled through.
Well, I know when you left that ankle injury, you looked like you were in a lot of pain, but it obviously came back. How was the ankle? Was it sore? Do you feel like you'll be able to go tomorrow night?
Yeah, I was just talking to these guys, and when I went down, it was more like I just felt sick to my stomach and like I wanted to puke, because that's how I felt after I tore my ACL. It's just a feeling that you don't want to have. And I knew it was going to be minor once I got it moving again. I'll be fine for tomorrow night. I'll do some work with our trainer. She's the best in the nation, helped me with my ACL. And so, yeah, I'll be good to go tomorrow night, and nothing a little ice and Advil can't do for it.
For Taylor or Natalie or both, what are the emotions like when you see see Liv go down, and then you see her, checking back in there? And
Yeah, we were actually just laughing about that too, because we've had sometimes pretty dramatic times where Liv's gone down and we panicked, and this time we didn't. And it wasn't a worry of ours. We were going to keep playing, and I think Taylor, being a huge guard for us, that whole game really stepped up in that moment too.
Anything else for our student athletes?
I guess just looking ahead to Nevada now, what do you guys need to do against them tomorrow here?
I mean, it's been a while since we played them, but I think we just gotta do what we do, play defense, and hopefully start the game a little bit better than we did tonight. But we got our confidence, and we just gotta keep doing what we're doing.
Okay, we'll dismiss the student athletes at this time. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Guys.
Questions for the coach?
Coach, I guess our kind of cold shooting starts like this sometimes to be expected a little bit when you're coming into a venue like this. I know sometimes it's tough to shoot in these tournaments. Is that sometimes something you just kind of need to get through and get over in these games?
I think it's always difficult. This is our first night playing, and there's so much expected of this group. And I thought New Mexico's defense was really good. They were there to make sure we did not get our three-point shots. We talked about the amount of turnovers that we had in the first half. We needed to correct that. But more importantly, we just talked about driving the ball. And that got us back into the game. And then I thought, two big threes down the stretch. Marta hit one when they went to a zone. And then Taylor got one up on top. And then we finished it out, closed it with free throws and defense. But yeah, to begin with, I thought New Mexico was the aggressor. And then in the third quarter, I thought we were able to flip that.
Joe, when you came back, this has been a tough tournament for this program, but to get this first one, and I know there's more, there's bigger goals ahead of you, but to get this first one and the way you guys did it, just how can that maybe springboard this team going into tomorrow, maybe even beyond?
Well, I think the biggest thing is this group's been special all year. To be picked second in the league to begin with, a tremendous amount of pressure was placed upon them. And then we end up having a tough final week of the season when we lose Liv Roberts to illness. And she didn't play one of the two games and was still ill in the second game. But this team just continues to compete. It's a close-knit group. You could see that at the end, how they celebrated the victory. And, we'll get them home, get them iced up tonight. It's going to be a late night. Try to get some rest in the morning and play a Nevada team that's really playing well, on a roll. And Nevada, you could see they're seniors. have also taken over and done some tremendous things. So it's just nice to know we can advance and to be able to, like Liv says, we're not on a plane ride home tomorrow.
Coach, I know, like you mentioned, the seniors had a big night, but for a while there, it felt like Taylor was kind of, keeping you guys afloat a little bit. What's it like to see, that kind of poise on this stage from underclassmen?
Well, I thought Taylor, I told my staff during one media timeout that Taylor was the one playing with the composure. And that's what you expect from your seniors. And so I thought Taylor really carried us in the third quarter. She really stepped up and played with that confidence that she's had all year and had all the starts that she does under her belt. She's our second leading scorer. I hardly ever get her out of the game. You take a look tonight, we played her 39 minutes. She's kind of the glue that holds this group together at times, both offensively and defensively, and she just keeps competing.
I guess with Nevada getting the big, win tonight over UNLV, what do you guys have to be ready for tomorrow with them?
Well, I thought it was two emotional wins. Nevada had a great one. We had a big one. And it's about now focusing back, coming out to play. I know Nevada, as I said, has been playing very well. We played them in the first 2 weeks of the season back in January. So we'll be up tonight taking a look at everything. But once again, it's just going to come down to execution, defensively, offensively, and see how much everybody has to step away from the emotion of tonight and be ready to play again tomorrow. But Nevada's playing extremely well.
There was a stretch in the third quarter where you held UNM for 1 of 15 from the field. What went so much better for you guys in the third quarter compared to maybe the second quarter defensively?
Well, one of the things we talked about was making sure that we had our rotations down. We had some rotation mistakes early in the game, and New Mexico took advantage of everything every time we made that mistake. And we just stayed true to what we were going to do defensively. I thought we improved that way and placed a little pressure back on them. And you could see the confidence starting to roll with us. And that was a big part. And then in the fourth quarter, we made an adjustment to go with 2 4s, Natalie Baker and Marta Gomez, and had our 5s out of the game. That put 2 additional scorers on the floor. Natalie did a good job down low defensively, so we were able to do that. And Natalie was able to drive from the perimeter. So being able to make that adjustment with Baker and Gomez being in the game really helped us out.
As a head coach, how rewarding was it to see your team come out with the type of effort they gave in the second half, especially after being held scoreless for 5 straight minutes in the second quarter?
Yeah, I tell you, we talked at halftime about just keep competing. And let's just get 5 minutes. When we won the first 5-minute segment, you could see the energy coming back to us. And then when we won the second 5-minute, I thought the whole momentum switched. And we had a tremendous amount of Wyoming fans in the building tonight. And when they get excited, it felt like a home game. And that was really a big part of what we were able to do. So I give credit not only to this group that was up here tonight, this team, but the Wyoming fans that showed up early at this tournament to help this women's program.
More questions?